Joining me right now is Iowa Senator Joni Ernst. She's a member of the Senate Armed Services Committee and the ranking member of the Senate Small Business Committee. Senator, thanks very much for being here this morning. It's very worrying to me to hear we're out of resources and we're out of money, and it could affect military readiness. Can you explain this to us?
Yes, good morning, Maria. And Congress is taking up a supplemental package which will address Israel, it will address Ukraine, of course, the Indo-Pacific, and hopefully border policies. So this is being debated in the Senate right now. We hope to have that package coming very shortly. What President Biden has proposed is a $106 billion package. But again, we've got to make sure that the details are right and that our readiness is not affected by delaying a vote on this supplemental package.
Well, there are plenty of people in Congress, your colleagues, who say they are done sending money to Ukraine until we get a better account of where that money is going. And why are we sitting on the money toward Israel throughout these negotiations when Israel needs it now?
Yes, exactly. And we did take up the package that was sent over from the House dealing with the Israeli funding. And of course, it fell on party lines. Republicans supported that individual spending package for Israel. The Democrats did oppose it, so we were not able to move forward on that bill. What the Senate Democrats are saying is it must be a package. And so we will take up a package. But Maria, yes, I agree. There has to be a full accounting of what we are spending in Ukraine. I have no doubt that we need to support the Ukrainians and push back the Russians. But we also need to address Iran, and we do that through funding Israel and making sure that our men and women serving in the Central Command region are able to strike back when Iran and their proxies are coming after them.
Well, I mean, they're coming after us. We've been attacked 75 times on our troops in the Middle East since October 17th. How would you assess the White House's response to this escalation coming out of Iran? It is Iran, even though it's its proxies. Iran is pulling the strings, right?
Right. And Maria, there is no secret how I feel about the White House's response to the attacks in the Middle East. I am sorely disappointed in the president and his lack of response when our troops are being targeted. So I think we need to be much more aggressive in pushing back. We are defending our troops. It is our right. It is our responsibility to make sure these men and women can defend themselves. This was the subject of discussion out at the Reagan National Defense Forum in Simi Valley this last weekend. I was in attendance, and of course, Leon Panetta had some very strong words to this administration, and we do need to be more aggressive in pushing back against Iran. This will continue to escalate if we have such milquetoast response coming from this administration.
Well, you're also urging the Department of Homeland Security to close a loophole which allows Chinese nationals to enter the United States territory without a visa. You note that they are arriving on the northern Mariana Islands, about 450 miles away from Guam, that these Chinese spies could be trying to infiltrate the United States military bases nearby. Senator, the CCP is coming at us from all ends right now, and again, a weak response from Biden. We don't even have any deliverables from that meeting between Joe Biden and Xi Jinping, where he said he had this great breakthrough that our militaries are going to start communicating again. The Joint Chiefs of Staff told us they have not started communicating with the United States.
Well, the proof is in the pudding, and we see absolutely no proof of moving forward with any sort of agreement with the CCP. And this is very dangerous. Chinese nationals have access without visas to Guam and other islands where they can spy on our military communications. So we do need to, again, close this loophole and make sure that we are protecting ourselves from the Chinese and their nefarious nefarious intentions. Again, the world is imploding right now, whether it's Iran, whether it's China, Russia, North Korea, and yet this administration, what are they focusing on? They're focusing on their green ideology with the climate. That's all the talk from this past weekend, instead of focusing on our #1 objective as a government, and that's to make sure that our people are safe.
Well, why not? Why is this their focus and not the clear and present danger that we're all watching, the national security threats that are China, Iran, and the U.S.'s response to them?
Well, again, just such a weak administration. There is no leadership when it comes to defending our homeland nor our people abroad. And this is why I feel it's so imperative that we have a different president after this next election. We must change course. And you're not going to see a stronger nation with a President Joe Biden in charge.
Well, are you going to endorse President Trump?
Well, I am not endorsing right now because you know, Maria, we are first in the nation caucus state. So we will have a competition going on in the state of Iowa through January 15th, and then we'll move forward after that. But I do fully intend to support our Republican nominee, whoever that may be.
Well, I mean, as you said, the Iowa caucus is now 6 weeks away. Former President Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis campaigned in the Hawkeye State over the weekend. Your thoughts on this race right now? I mean, what do you attribute Trump's incredible success? He's far and away the leading candidate so far.
Yes, he's got a great base across the state of Iowa. And, you know, he worked so hard in his administration to make sure that every American had access to our great ethanol products at the pump. And that really excites our Iowa farmers. So he does have a good draw in the state of Iowa. It is still a pretty good competition, though. And so I'm excited to see how it shakes out as we whittle down these weeks headed into January 15th. But I would encourage everybody, if you want to see the caucuses in action, come on to the state of Iowa. We'll welcome you with open arms. You can't vote, but you can watch.
Look, a lot of money, the donor class is getting behind Nikki Haley. Would you be poised to recommend Trump choose Haley as his vice president candidate if he is in fact the nominee?
Well, if he is the nominee, absolutely. I think Nikki Haley is the whole package. She really does bring a breadth of knowledge from her executive position, serving as a governor of the state of South Carolina, but then also serving in the Trump administration at the UN and pushing back against these authoritarian regimes which had it in for the United States. Yeah. She is a very firm leader, and she gets foreign policy. So I really believe in Nikki Haley, and I think she would be an exceptional choice either for president or for vice president.
All right. She did a great job as UN ambassador, that's for sure. Senator, it's good to see you as always. Thank you so much.